What really happens after you flush the toilet? Every day, billions of people push a handle, hear the familiar sound of rushing water, and then never think about it again. Out of sight, out of mind. But have you ever stopped to wonder what actually happens after you flush the toilet, and where does everything go? What happens to the waste? And perhaps the most unbelievable fact of all, could the water that carried away your poop one day become drinking water again? As strange as that sounds, the answer is yes. In fact, some of the cleanest water on Earth has gone through that exact journey. So today we're following one flush all the way from your bathroom back to a glass of crystal clear water. And trust me, the process is a lot more incredible than you might think. Number 1, the journey begins. The moment you flush, gravity takes over. Everything disappears down a network of pipes beneath your home and joins thousands of gallons of wastewater from sinks, showers, dishwashers, and toilets all across your neighborhood. Eventually, this mixture travels through underground sewer systems toward a wastewater treatment plant. Think of it as a giant cleaning factory, and what enters that factory is far from pleasant. Besides human waste, wastewater contains food scraps, grease, soap, hair, dirt, and all kinds of things people accidentally flush that definitely shouldn't go down the toilet. Baby wipes, paper towels, even toys. But before any cleaning can begin, the biggest debris has to go. Number 2, the giant filters. As the wastewater enters the treatment plant, it first passes through huge metal screens. These screens catch large objects that could damage equipment. Plastic, rags, sticks, anything too large gets removed and disposed of. After that, the water slows down inside large tanks. Heavy materials like sand, rocks, and dirt sink to the bottom. These materials are collected and removed. But the truly interesting part is just beginning, because even though the water may look disgusting, nature itself is about to help clean it. Number 3, millions of tiny workers. Inside enormous tanks, billions of microorganisms get to work. These microscopic bacteria feed on organic waste. Essentially, they eat the stuff we don't want. And while that might sound gross, it's actually one of the most important steps in the entire process. These tiny organisms break down waste naturally, helping separate clean water from harmful material. It's like having billions of invisible workers operating around the clock. Eventually, the bacteria settle to the bottom, leaving much cleaner water above. But despite how much cleaner it looks, it still isn't ready for humans, not even close. Number 4, making the water crystal clear. Now the water goes through additional cleaning stages. Special filters remove extremely tiny particles. Some facilities use membranes so fine that contaminants thousands of times smaller than a grain of sand are blocked. Others use chemicals, ozone, or ultraviolet light to destroy bacteria and viruses, and by this point the water is remarkably clean, cleaner than many rivers and lakes. But some places take things even further, especially areas where fresh water is scarce, and that's where things start getting truly fascinating. Number 5, from wastewater to drinking water. In places like California, Singapore, and parts of Texas, highly purified recycled water is becoming increasingly important. After advanced treatment, the water can pass through reverse osmosis systems and powerful ultraviolet purification. These technologies remove microscopic contaminants and pathogens. The result? Water so pure that scientists often have to add minerals back into it, because ultra-pure water actually tastes strange. Eventually, this purified water may enter reservoirs, underground aquifers, or municipal water supplies. And yes, that means water that once traveled through toilets can eventually come back through your kitchen faucet. But before you panic, remember something important. The water you're drinking today has been recycled by nature for billions of years. The same water molecules dinosaurs drank still exist somewhere on Earth. Water is constantly being reused. Modern treatment plants simply speed up a process nature has been doing forever. Number 6, is it safe? This is probably the biggest question people ask, and the answer is yes, extremely safe. In fact, purified recycled water is often cleaner than many natural water sources. Treatment plants constantly test water quality using advanced sensors and laboratory analysis. Multiple stages of purification create backup systems, ensuring that if one process fails, others continue protecting the supply. Scientists and engineers monitor these facilities around the clock. And in some cases, recycled drinking water exceeds federal safety standards, which means the biggest challenge isn't technology, it's psychology. Because people tend to react emotionally when they hear where the water originally came from. Even though chemically speaking, water is simply H2O, it doesn't remember where it's been. Number 7. What happens to the solids? You might be wondering, oh, what about the stuff that isn't water? Well, after treatment, the remaining solids become sludge. That sludge undergoes additional processing. Some facilities use giant digesters where bacteria break it down further. These digesters can actually produce methane gas, and that methane can be used to generate electricity. In some places, treated biosolids are converted into fertilizer for agriculture, meaning that even waste products can become useful resources. Very little actually goes to waste. Number 8, why you should never flush certain things. Most people assume that if something disappears down the toilet, it's gone forever. But that's not how sewer systems work. Despite what the packaging says, so-called flushable wipes are one of the biggest problems treatment plants face. Unlike toilet paper, wipes don't break apart easily. Instead, they combine with grease, oils, and other debris to form enormous masses known as fatbergs. Some fatbergs have grown to the size of buses. These giant blockages can clog pipes, damage equipment, and cost cities millions of dollars to remove. And wipes aren't the only problem. Paper towels, cooking grease, dental floss, cotton swabs, even goldfish and small pets have been found in sewer systems. The toilet may seem like a magical disappearing machine, but eventually everything has to be dealt with somewhere. Number 9. The craziest things found at treatment plants. After processing billions of gallons of wastewater every year, treatment plants have seen almost everything imaginable. Workers have discovered jewelry, cash, cell phones, toys, false teeth, and occasionally live animals that somehow survive the journey. But perhaps the strangest discoveries are the things people accidentally lose. Wedding rings, expensive watches, even stacks of money have been recovered, which means somewhere out there, a person may have accidentally flushed thousands of dollars and gotten it back. Number 10. Why recycled water can be cleaner than bottled water. Here's something that surprises many people. Some recycled water goes through so many layers of purification that it ends up cleaner than many natural water sources, and in some cases cleaner than bottled water. Bottled water isn't always special. Much of it comes from ordinary municipal water systems. Meanwhile, advanced recycling facilities may use microfiltration, reverse osmosis, ultraviolet light, and continuous testing to ensure exceptional purity. Scientists can detect contaminants down to incredibly tiny levels. The result is water so pure that minerals often need to be added back in for taste. In other words, the biggest obstacle isn't whether recycled water is safe. It's convincing people to trust something that sounds strange. Number 11. What happens when you flush on an airplane? And if you've ever used the bathroom on an airplane, you may have wondered where everything goes. Contrary to an old myth, airplanes don't dump waste into the sky. Instead, when you flush, a powerful vacuum system pulls everything into sealed tanks inside the aircraft. That loud sucking sound isn't just for dramatic effect, it's actually one of the most efficient toilet systems ever designed. Once the plane lands, special service trucks remove the contents and transport them for treatment, meaning that even at 35,000 feet, the journey eventually ends at a treatment facility, the same destination as the toilet in your home. Number 12. You're drinking ancient water. And perhaps the strangest fact of all, the water you drink today may be billions of years old. Long before humans existed, dinosaurs drank water. Rain carried that water into rivers and oceans. Over millions of years, nature continuously recycled it through evaporation, clouds, and rainfall. The water molecules in your glass may have passed through glaciers, volcanoes, oceans, plants, animals, and yes, even dinosaurs. Water doesn't disappear, it simply changes locations, which means every drop on Earth has an incredible story stretching back farther than human civilization itself. Conclusion. So what really happens after you flush the toilet? A hidden journey begins beneath your feet. Waste travels through underground tunnels, massive machines remove debris, billions of microscopic organisms go to work, advanced filtration systems purify the water, some solids become energy, and in certain places the water itself becomes clean enough to drink once again. It's one of humanity's greatest engineering achievements. And yet most of us never think about it, because every day, with a simple push of a handle, we trust an invisible system that quietly works around the clock. And the next time you flush the toilet, remember, the story doesn't end there. In many ways, it's only just beginning. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Would you drink recycled water if you knew it was cleaner than bottled water? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.